What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to yet another Fridge Financials video. In today's video, we are trying to figure out how long $1 million will last you. If you're excited for today's video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you've already done so, and turn your bell notifications for all future uploads. Now, there are obviously factors to keep in mind with this, but just to look at different states, retirements, $1 million, what people do with $1 million, and what my end results there are, and what my opinion is afterwards. So let's take a look here. So Investopedia talks about, again, about how different ways you can have money for retirement and stuff like that. The most important one that I think people are most familiar with is the 4% rule. Many retirees who follow the 4% rule, with a $1 million nest egg, they withdraw 4% the first year. So basically what the 4% rule is you take out 4% every year to use in your investment accounts, and the rest you keep in there. Since the market returns on average 10%, with you taking out 4%, you still keep 6% gains in your portfolio, which is still good. It means you're still earning money in your investment accounts. And so they'll withdraw the $40,000, they'll live on this amount. In the second year, they'll take out the same 4% plus the rate of inflation for that year. Obviously, to combat inflation, if it was 2%, for example, they would take out 102% of $40,000. So take out the $40,000 plus 2% for inflation, which means you need $40,800. Again, inflation being 2%, right now we're not there yet. We're getting close, but we're not there. So maybe like 3%, 3.5%. So you take out 103.5%, for example. Then you keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it over and over again. Projecting forward the interest rates and inflation environment of 2024, a retiree can easily make $1 million last 30 or more years using this strategy. And I thought that. I was like, wow, $1 million for 30 plus years? Okay. I first of all wanted to see when this article came out. I don't know if it tells me anywhere. It's probably up top somewhere. Oh, July 10th this year. So $1 million can go for 30. It can go for 30 years. That's pretty cool. Then I thought about this. The salary a single person needs to live comfortably in every U.S. state. Now again, comfortably is what I would like to have. Because I'm retired, if I'm retired, I would want to be able to live comfortably and not stress and work, and live frugally and eat ramen every single night when I'm retired. I want to be able to enjoy the finer things in life, enjoy the free time, travel, look at different places, go all over the place, and really enjoy that life, right? So, comfortable is defined as the monthly income needed to cover 50-30-20 budget, which is one of the most common budgets. There's also a 70-20-10, I believe, as well. So 50% of your earnings for necessities like housing and utility, 30 for discretionary spending, and 20 for savings or investments. I usually do 70-20-10. So discretionary spending, I cut down to 10%. So I take 20% and put that in towards my, necessities or my investments and everything else usually, but that's just me. The income needed for each state was extrapolated based on the cost and necessities using data from the MIT Living Wage Calculator. Now, one thing to make a note of, and if you are somebody who knows statistics and I'm someone that teaches it, the keyword extrapolated means they're predicting it based off of it, and it's not always reliable because you don't know what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years. So take that with a grain of salt. These are projections. They're not guaranteed. They could be a little bit lower. They could be higher. Extrapolation is not always predictability, so we don't really use that as much. But here's a look at the 5 most costly states for single workers based on how much money residents would need to earn each year to live comfortably. Massachusetts, $116,000. Hawaii, $113,000. Cali, $113,000. New York, $111,000. Washington, $106,000. At least Connecticut's not on there yet, which is great. Again, this is for single workers. So again, if you are married, obviously, it does help when you guys have combined salaries and everything else. It does definitely make your life a little bit better. To live comfortably on your own in these states, you need to earn nearly double what most single earners typically make in the U.S. at a median income for full-time workers single at $60,000. The national median for living comfortably alone is $89,461, which suggests that a 50-30-20 budget may not be practical for most single people. Which obviously, if you have somebody else, definitely helps. But the thing that I also found interesting was that, doing the 4% rule, going back down to this, you're taking out $40,000 at 4%. The average to live alone comfortably is $89,000, or the median, I should say. The 4% rule doesn't even do that. It doesn't even give you that much allocation there. You need double that. So instead of having a $1 million portfolio, you need a $2 million portfolio. So 30 years, I don't think $1 million gets you 30 years anymore. Much the way you might think. But again, this is for single people, not for people that might be married, have a spouse, have kids, those kind of things, obviously. Living alone comes at a cost of being more than double what you'd spend, which obviously makes sense. So this goes through each one. So take a look at all of these. Alabama, Alaska. And again, you can pause the video at any point to read which one yours are. But what you'll notice, Connecticut, 6 figures. Thank you, Connecticut. Delaware, Florida, As you will notice, as I'm going through each of these. Maryland, 102, geez. As you go through each of these, you'll notice that not one of them is even close to 40K. North Dakota, 52. Still 12,000 over the 4% rule at $1 million. But, hey, maybe I'll move to North Dakota. Who knows? But none of them get to 40K. So the fact that this is to live on 40K, and this is living comfortably, like 40K is going to be cutting it close. So can $100 million last you some years? Yeah, of course it can. But living comfortably and not frugal, I don't know. And if that doesn't pique your interest, how about this? Here's how long $1 million lasts in retirement savings in every state and where it runs out the fastest. This is from October 24th of this year. Gold banking rates took a look at how long $1 million lasts in every state and found they wouldn't be enough to cover 25 years of retirement expenses anywhere in the U.S. Wow. Okay. And so here's what we will notice. California, 13.8 years. $1 million will last you that long there. Oregon, 15.7. Connecticut, dang, 16.5 years. If I retire, I made a video recently about how I can become a millionaire as a teacher. If I retired at 60, I'd be able to go till 76 and then go back to work. Dang. Hawaii's the shortest at 10 years. Which, let's be honest, Hawaii and Alaska makes sense because of imports, exports, cost of living, those kind of things, because obviously they are on islands, or Alaska obviously is a huge landmass where it's harder to still get products over to Alaska from anywhere else. So it makes sense because their cost of living is higher. So their shortest will be there. But Massachusetts, 12.8 years. Mass is expensive. It's more expensive than New York. New York is 14 years at least. The longest for retiring would be Mississippi, down south, 22.7 years. Does that have Kansas 22, Oklahoma 22, Florida is, 18 years. It's not too bad. But if I want to retire, say 57, I might need 20, 30 years to get that full retirement. So $1 million doesn't go as long as people might think. Especially in those states where cost of living is higher. California is super expensive to live in. I guess Oregon probably is too. New York definitely, Massachusetts definitely, Maryland expensive to live in because that's the DC area where things are more expensive also. Connecticut a little bit better, but still Connecticut around here is expensive. But the cheaper states, Alabama, Mississippi, down here, Texas, the southern part of the country, has a little bit longer, where $1 million goes a little bit longer. Hence why people make a lot of money up here and then they go retire down south down here to make their money last longer. So very interesting to look at. So again, $1 million doesn't last as long as you might think. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Again, this kind of just is a brief insight as to how long $1 million lasts you in every state. And again, my goal isn't just to hit $1 million and then retire. I'm looking to I would like to have a couple million before I am able to retire, because a couple million will make my life be a little bit more enjoyable to live and a little bit more fun to enjoy traveling and everything else. I am curious about, let me see if it says it here by any chance. So it doesn't say that you're living comfortably here. So I'm curious to know how they calculated these years here. I might look at that more outside, but just something to keep in mind about. Maybe they're not doing comfortable living. Maybe they're doing frugal living. Maybe they're doing high life living. I don't really quite know, to be honest. You might be able to stretch out these years a little bit longer if you cut back a little bit. Not like ramen noodle dieting, hopefully, I would guess. But yeah, so thanks so much for watching today's video. If you made this far in the video, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave any comments you have down below in the comments section. I hope you guys are making money in the market, as I always suggest, and hopefully making money closer to retiring for longer than 10 years. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video.